Hello, everyone, and welcome to another beautiful day here at the Waterhole. My name is Amy, and I will be with you for the first half of today's show. We are starting off here in the beautiful Jamala of Madikwe Game Reserve, and there is a Ellie Bull who has come down for a refreshing drink of water. For those of you who are perhaps new or joining us for the first time, this is a live and interactive show. So please do make sure that you send through your comments and your questions. I always love to hear from our viewers, even if it's just to say hello. It always fascinates me in different places that we have viewers watching from, as well as some very interesting questions that always lead to some good discussions, educational discussions. So please make sure that if you would like to, you can do that on Twitter or in the YouTube chat, as well as on the website or in the app. Well, it looks like the sun is shining and it could be a very warm day here at Jamala. But how about we take a look at the weather across our locations? Well, warm weather all around, but nothing too extreme. So I think we should get quite a few animals coming down to the water today because of the heat. Now, yesterday we had a wonderful afternoon. It really was a beautiful end to the show with plenty of birds around. But no day is exactly like the other. Although we do tend to see the same animals, they're always doing something different, or there's always something new to learn. Antonis, hello and good morning to you as well. It's good to have you with us. I really do hope that you enjoy the show today. A big part of live at the Waterhole is just about relaxing, taking in the scenes, imagining you yourself were sitting on the deck of a lodge looking out at these waterholes, enjoying the view. Catherine, hello. You say hello from a cold and miserable Germany. I'm so sorry to hear that the weather is like that for you at the moment. But you say that it is very nice to warm up virtually. It is, isn't it? I'm sending all the sunshine I can manage through the screen at the moment, Catherine. Forgive my pronunciation, but I will do my best. Konakli Alanya, hello from Turkey. Wow, that's the first viewer from Turkey that I have had say hello. So, a very warm welcome to you. I see this bull now moving off to make a space for the next one who's on his way also for some water. You can also clearly see the size difference between these two male elephants. The one there walking away now, a lot smaller in size than the one that is drinking there now. A little bit of submission and respect being shown there. That elephant had his drink as soon as the larger one approached, so he moved away. A little bit of a greeting there. I'm sure these bulls know each other. Shiv, hello. Thank you. Good morning, Amy from the UK. Happy Saturday. Looking forward to some great views today. Absolutely, Shiv, we all are. Now, this group of elephants here at the moment we would call a bachelor herd, a group of males who are no longer with their natal herds. They have moved off as well as been forced out and now find company within each other's presence. But I wouldn't be surprised if a little bit on we do see some of the herds coming through with the little ones. I know it's many viewers' favorites, the baby Ellies.
We all know the struggle of finding the perfect gift. But what if you could give them an unforgettable experience? Something truly extraordinary. Introducing Nature Eye. Fly a real drone remotely at iconic locations, witnessing the beauty of nature like never before. Sign up to be an explorer and you could win one of these experiences yourself. Visit natureeye.com today.
Some of these boys are already taking the chance to have a swim. A pool party has begun, everybody. I always love watching these elephants when they decide to get into the water. Especially the larger ones look quite clumsy, but they also look like they are just having the best time. Jive Bunny, hello. You say an early a day keeps the doctor away. It does, doesn't it? I think it's good for all of us. Evan, you are asking which elephant is the elder or the oldest. Generally, Evan, we would look at the one amongst these elephant bulls, which is the largest. There was one here. I don't know if it's just because he splashed himself with a bit of mud. He has two tusks which point outwards quite distinctly from his face, which is usually what I've seen the biggest bull out of a group. That I think it's the one that's walking towards the water now. Yeah, he was a bit lighter in color, and just based on size, he looks like one of the bigger bulls. And generally, with an elephant, the age of the elephant correlates to its size. The more mature and older the elephant bull, the larger they will be. But the only way we could really say 100% for certain without any doubt is if every bull here, for example, was monitored from when they were born until now to know exactly how many years old they all are. But if I was to bet on it, I would say it would be the largest one of them. And sometimes it's not necessarily always the tallest. Some may be very similar in height, but also we look at the thickness of the tusk, how wide that the face is between the tusks, also how heavily sort of built the elephant is, and the size of the head as well. Tamsin, hello. You've asked how many elephants are in the park. Um, So the latest figures that I have, Tamsin, is anywhere between 900 to over 1,000 elephants within Madikwe. So it is quite a few relative to the size of the reserve. There is a very healthy population of elephants here. Rosie, hello. Thank you for joining us again. I always enjoy your questions and comments. Thank you for sending them through. You were first asking how come the adults don't roll around and lay down in the water because is it because they might not be able to get up? But as you saw there, they very much do lie down and roll around in the water, and that you say that's the first time that you've seen an adult doing it. But yes, absolutely, they do. A lot of it depends on the depth of the water that would help them be able to get back up again. And they often, if they do want to lie down, even if it is in mud, so there's no water to help counterweight their weight, um, then they do it sort of on a slope so that they have a little bit of extra help to get up if they are on their side. But it is possible. It's not something that is impossible for the elephants to do if the bigger larger ones do lie down. I do love the sounds, everyone. One of my favorite experiences in the bush or on game drive, even around a waterhole. There's two actually very similar but different. Is the one is when it's sort of dusk, twilight. The sun is set. It's about maybe half an hour after sunset, and it's starting to get dark in the bush, but you can still see without the headlights on of the vehicle. And I remember driving, and we were on our way back to the lodge, the end of the drive, and there was an elephant, actually two bull elephants, one on the right hand side of the road, one on the left. The one on the left had already crossed and was moving off, and the one on the right was just feeding right next to the road. So I switched off the vehicle and asked everyone to just be quiet, and we listened more than what we could see. and to engage your ears and senses around the elephant um, is incredible. And we could hear this bull, his breathing, the way he was feeding on the tree, breaking the branches. And then he gave this deep guttural rumble to communicate with the other bull that had already crossed the road. And the other bull replied, and I felt like it was going straight through my body. That's how deep and how much vibrations was coming. The elephant was probably 20 to 30 meters away from the vehicle, but it was one of those beautiful moments.
For those in the wet and cold this festive season, transport yourself to a warm and sunny Africa. With virtual safaris in real time. Interact with African naturalists, connect with fellow nature lovers across the globe, fall in love with nature, and join the WildEarth family this festive season. WildEarth, connecting you to nature.
Rosie, you just mentioning that the waterhole looks like it's getting lower again. It does, doesn't it? There's a few more bits and pieces showing through in the water of the sort of the bottom of the waterhole. So we can only hope some more rain comes soon, but I'm sure there will be some more in the near future. Well, it's gotten a little bit quieter here. Some of these bulls were feeding quite close to the fence of the lodge while these two are having a drink. Rosie, you want to know that why a group of elephants, when they're all standing together, they face in opposite directions and why that is? Well, for me, Rosie, it makes sense for elephants to do that. We actually particularly see it sometimes when the herds are resting and some of the little ones actually lie down in the middle of the group. And it's basically so they can see in all directions, forming some sort of a fortress or barrier. And it's all about safety. And they realize, or they naturally know, that they put their backsides towards the center, their heads face outwards, and of course, if they all face in one direction, they could be vulnerable from the back. So therefore, if they all are facing in different directions, they can all see, hear, and smell in a full, like, 360-degree awareness. Picasso, hello. Good to have a question from you again. You've asked a very interesting one on a very interesting topic when it comes to female elephants, about what the elephant mom does with the afterbirth of the elephant, of the baby elephant, and what my thoughts are on it. So, research suggests that the elephant mom will actually eat that afterbirth. The reason being, firstly, that it is extremely high in nutrients, that afterbirth being the placenta, which mammals have when giving birth. And secondly, a big reason for it is because of predation. That afterbirth is, of course, filled with blood, and it can smell quite strongly, something that the likes of hyenas, lions, etc., can easily pick up on. Um, and they try and remove the scent from the area as soon as possible to protect the little one. I have, it's not necessarily the case every single time for a mother elephant. I've actually seen hyenas eating the afterbirth of an elephant before. So sometimes they get in there quicker than what the mom manages to remove it or get rid of it in. Um, so yeah, the circumstances are different. Though that's my thoughts on it, really, from what I've observed and also what I've read in research that has been done. Picasso. Now some zebras arriving for a drink here. hear rattling testicular calling as well. Zebras coming to drink is always so beautiful, isn't it? Those stripes making such a beautiful photograph always. Someone trying to squeeze in between. There's no space for you there. Just go around. Looks like an extremely pregnant female on the left-hand side here. Looks like there is a spoonbill that is busy feeding here as well. Something we often see at the other camera feed that we have a little bit later on in the show at Tau Lodge. A very busy feeder indeed, constantly moving that bill around. Very different tactic or strategy to the herons that we see. They tend to be very still, using their beak to try and fish and stab their prey, whereas a spoonbill has a very wide, flat bill at the end. Looking to grab and squish whatever it can find. With pleasure, Picasso. I'm glad I could answer your question. And yeah, you had the right thinking there with regards to elephants' mothers in the afterbirth and covering up the scent to protect the the baby from any sort of predation.
Welcome to Eco Training Pridelands Conservancy. Hey, Susan, no. Oh, look at her, she's absolutely gorgeous. Look at these two pushing each other.
Now, interestingly enough, at Juma, often the elephant herds don't stay around too long. They come for their drink and then move off again. I think they're already finishing off. I see a hippo is also here in the water. Always nice to know the resident hippo here at this waterhole is around. But these ellies are now finished their drink, had a bit of a splash behind the ears, and now they're already starting to feed again. Oh, so many beautiful bird calls here, everybody. Bilbo Baggins, you want to know what does Juma mean in English? I believe that Juma means the roar of the lion in, Juma in Shangaan means, which is the local language spoken in the area around the Greater Kruger National Park by the local people, and it means roar of the lion. Derek, you want to know which my favorite bird call is? Oh my word, it is so difficult to choose one. Um, it really, really is hard. There are so many that are really beautiful. Um, I think, Derek, oh, look, there's no way that I would ever be able to just pick one. Um, I love the orange-breasted bushrack, which is one we could actually hear calling. It just reminds me so much of summer, and it's such a pretty little bird. I love orange-breasted bushracks. They are beautiful, and they just look very. I don't know how to describe it, but they look very kind. They have kind faces, very sweet, kind faces. And they are one of the smaller bushracks that we get, and their call is or coffee, tea, or me, as we've come to learn it out here in the Lowveld. I also really enjoy the class's cuckoo call. They're also beautiful emerald green and white cuckoos. Looks like some other elephants have now come down for some water. So we're getting a double dose here, everyone. How lucky are we? And we're getting a swim here. Yay. I was hoping with the heat that we'd get some elephants swimming here at Juma. And here they are. How awesome is this, everyone?
Our UK family is important to us. WildEarth is making your viewing experience more convenient with a time shift that will see a delayed start. Our sunrise safari will now be broadcast at UK sunrise times. Don't miss a moment of your favorite shows. To watch it live, go to the WildEarth app or website.
Incredible.
WildEarth, connecting you to nature.
All of a sudden, there seems to be an endless stream of elephants at Juba. Another little group have come down for another drink, including a tiny baby. Shiv, hello. You have asked a very, um, well, let me put it this way, a question which brings up a topic which is um, something that has to be addressed within conservation, but it never is very easy to talk about. My word, have a look at that female with that very long, straight tusk, everyone. And you've asked that if a fenced reserve has too many elephants, would the herds naturally stop breeding to control their own numbers? Shiv, I wish that was the case. That would make things a lot simpler for everyone if elephants could control their own population in that way. But unfortunately, not. And that actually is an issue in terms of elephant population control for conservation. How do we do that? What's the most ethical yet cost effective way to do that? Because they are such successful breeders, and no, their numbers won't be controlled by the population itself, even if they are fenced in. They will continue to breed. And so there are various methods that can be used to control populations, some more controversial than others. But at the end of the day, it is important to remember that as humans, we have limited the areas where these elephants can exist freely. And therefore, it is important that we maintain a balanced habitat and ecosystem, not only for the elephants, but for all the animals that are in the system. And unfortunately, elephants can be quite destructive. They consume large amounts of vegetation matter, which, if not managed, can negatively affect other species. Monet, you are watching Happy Ellies at the water, and you say that that is the best. Absolutely, Monet. I couldn't agree more with you. Especially the little ones, they are just having the best time. All right, well, it looks like these Ellies have finished with the water for the most part. So why don't we head back over to Jamala? From one lot of Ellies to the next. Mornay, I think you are going to enjoy this a lot. Oh my word. Just look at these having such fun. Wrestling looks like as well a bit in the water. This is just wonderful. I really hope all of you at home are enjoying it as much as I am. Samantha, you say, what a fantastic elephant sighting. And while it is fantastic, isn't it? It's been so much fun to watch them. And Rosie, you say that you do love the way that they wrestle around. What fun they are having. It looks like they're having a slight break at the moment, but the one from the back giving a bit of a nudge on the bum. Maybe they're just catching their breath and now they're going to restart the wrestling match. My Chan, absolutely. Elephants are just the best, aren't they? We've been spoiled here today with elephants, not only at Jamala, but also at Juma, as well as some very entertaining interactions between these young bulls. Jive Bunny, you say when and how do the mothers or matriarchs of the herds get the teenage boy elephants to leave the herd? It's an interesting question. Um, but there are particular ways. It's a combination of both the teenage boys, getting to a point where they feel like they need to move off and start living the life of a mature bull. Well, on that sort of journey to becoming a mature bull. And then for the females, they simply will make it very clear that those young boys aren't welcome anymore. So it's a natural progression. It's not something that happens overnight. Often we find once that herd is moving, we see a few of the young boys hanging about at the back. Sometimes they'll sort of be around the herd, and that sort of weaning off of the herd, as it were, happens over a period of time. It could be weeks or months until they eventually break off completely and become independent of the herd. But the females will sometimes chase them, they'll trumpet at them. There's a lot of communication in elephants that we don't necessarily hear, but that's basically what the females would do. They would make it clear that those boys aren't welcome anymore around them and their little ones.
For those in the wet and cold this festive season, transport yourself to a warm and sunny Africa. With virtual safaris in real time. Interact with African naturalists, connect with fellow nature lovers across the globe, fall in love with nature, and join the WildEarth family this festive season. WildEarth, connecting you to nature.
Well, all of a sudden, there's only one elephant left, if you can believe it. And others are all moving off there on the top left of the screen. And a reminder to everyone that coming up at 1 p.m. Central African time, we are going to be joined by Africa. And for those of you watching on YouTube, to get ready to change over to either the website or the WildEarth app, where you can continue watching the Live at the Waterhole show. Starbuck, you say Ellie's everywhere. Love it. So do I. We say it all the time, but it really is one of the animals that I can sit and watch all day. That spoonbill now has made its way all the way to the other side. Rosie, you want to know if I've ever seen an elephant spray another elephant with mud or water? That's actually a very good question, Rosie. I'll think about it. I don't think that I actually have, in terms of being a little bit cheeky and spraying each other in the face. Hmm. I've seen them spray once, guest on my vehicle. That was quite funny. We were driving in the riverbed and they were drinking, and the one took some water, walked past us, and sprayed it at us. So that was a memorable occasion. There's a zebra, a few zebras, I think, coming now from the left. Often we see them coming from just to the right of that elephant. Now they're coming from the left. Interesting. Very cautious, as they usually are. But with a majority of those elephants now moved off, they feel a lot more comfortable to come to the waterhole. One, in fact, drinking already.
We all know the struggle of finding the perfect gift. But what if you could give them an unforgettable experience? Something truly extraordinary. Introducing Nature Eye. Fly a real drone remotely at iconic locations, witnessing the beauty of nature like never before. Sign up to be an explorer and you could win one of these experiences yourself. Visit natureeye.com today.
Well, it was beautiful to see those zebras drinking here, and a few of them were actually slipping and sliding into the water because of the mud. But it really is a beautiful day here, everyone. Can just see the sky, the mountains, the greenery, the elephants, the animals, and the water, all making quite a picturesque view. Well, it's just a few minutes before we get ready to welcome African. So, a reminder to all our viewers, if you are watching on YouTube, the feed is going to end there. So, please make sure that you hop over to either the website or the app where you can continue to watch. All right, well, it is that time, everyone. So, let's get ready and welcome Africam to the show.